Hello, here we are at the Stanton air raid shelter on the domestic site of RAF Metheringham. Here's a nice view of the shelter and the wartime path that leads towards the shelter. We have an information board just there on the left. As we walk towards the shelter, I'll give you some information. Stanton air raid shelters could hold up to 50 personnel at a time, and they provided safety against bomb blasts and splinters, although a Stanton air raid shelter would not have withstood a direct hit from a bomb. The Stanton air raid shelter was a segment shelter manufactured by the Stanton Ironworks Company of New Stanton in Derbyshire. So as we have a look at the entrance here, you can see there's a brick blast wall either side of the entrance. So what we'll do, we'll venture down, and there are some steps down, as you can see, one or two old steps. And as we go down the stairs and we look up, we can see another information board. Stanton air raid shelters were partly buried in the ground, and they were bolted and had arched roofs, which were made to an exact Air Ministry specification, which was issued in 1941, and they used reinforced concrete. Reinforced concrete proved the ideal material for air raid shelters, being very strong and resistant to shock, with no deterioration over time. So we can see the metal frame doors there and the bolts, the large bolts in each frame. And as we walk in, you can see the shape of the interior. The shelters were simple, low-cost design. The standard layout was 18 precast J-shaped sections that you can see there. They were 20 inches wide, 7 feet high, with transverse struts to provide rigidity. A suitable sized hole was excavated and longitudinal bearers were laid, and these were grooved to receive the foot of each segment. Each of the J-shaped segments was laid on the ground, and bitumastic compound was applied to its edges before it was lifted and slotted into place. So there we are. We're now walking up towards the far end of the air raid shelter, and this was the escape hatch. You can see some wartime newspapers there, and as we look up into the escape hatch, you can see the roof of it. Now there would have been a ladder secured to that escape hatch at all times, so if they had to get out in an emergency, they would. So we're walking back out now, and you can see the blast shelter as we walk through the door. Okay, and then we're turning round and up those stone steps, and there's the wartime path that leads away from the shelter.